Hey there, everybody. CP Cards and Dice with Tony Porter. How you doing tonight? Just got off of the RJL and the Anthony streams, and it got me going here to wanted to play my game 16 of the first part of this two-part project with seven other managers right now, 6 or 7. I think it's 6. Where every manager plays 32 games, and then we put all the data together, and then we come up with the year and stats to have a little bit more information, a little bit more data on fall classic baseball. It's called the Oakland A's 1980 project, and there's a lot going on the Facebook groups and on the Delphi groups related to this project. There's a bunch of guys doing it. And you can check out the Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. You can check out the Fall Classic Baseball group, all sister groups. And then, of course, you have the Delphi groups, the Fall Classic Baseball Delphi group as well. So far in the 15 games that the A's have played, we got a .299 batting average, which is pretty impressive. I mean, they've hit well in these games. I don't know how good the pitching has been. They faced pretty good teams, but I think those teams are better hitting teams than actually pitching teams. But then after that, we have a on-base percentage of 351, it looks like. 351 on-base percentage. We have a slugging percentage of 386 and an OPS of 737 in the 15 games. So it's been pretty high in terms of the hitting-wise. We've hit well, extremely well. And I was interested in checking out the pitching. Let me just check out the pitching real quick here. It's good. The ERA is 4.43. Holy smokes! Pretty high ERA. I don't have. Let me see. The WHIP has been 1.5. Runs per game. Let's see. Runs average per game. Don't have that. Wait. Runs no. Let's see if I can find runs per game. I don't have the runs per game here anywhere. But both the WHIP at 1.5 and the ERA, both pretty high. And I found that I've had some really high-scoring games at different points. So let's continue to play. This is only a 15-game section, so it's not really going to be representative of course, a larger picture of the game itself. We have to wait till all the data is in, and then we got to play more than one season to really have enough data to really speak on in terms of the credibility of the results and the accuracy of the results of this game. So let's get started here. We're going to have the lineup is going to be started off by Ricky Henderson. Then batting second is going to be Dwayne Murphy. I'm using iScore to keep track of the stats. It's going to be Henderson, Murphy, and Heath. Mike Heath, the catcher, batting third. Tony Armas in right field, batting fourth. Randy Elliott, DH. Jeff Newman, first baseman. Batting sixth, batting seventh is Mario Guerrero. Batting eighth is Rob Pichula, and Dave Mckay is batting ninth. Rick Langford on the mound. He's a pitcher that had 20. He actually was never relieved in a game from May to September. Pretty amazing. From May to September, he had 28 complete games and I think like 34 starts, which is mind-bending. So let's get started. We're going to pull a card. We're going to do some rolling first, and we will pull cards as well. So that's going to be a 61 on Ricky Henderson's card. That's an out. So let's find out. It's going to be a fly ball to right field. So one away. Now all my games have been played with fast action cards. So the next 16 games I'm going to roll the dice, and that is 16. And the 16 is a 1 to 3 K, and we got a 9 there, so it's not going to be a K. So we're going to pull a card for a comebacker to Scott Mcgregor. And he fields his position and throws out Dwayne Murphy, 2 out. Now, if you want to know more about the Oakland A's, hey, Bob, how are you, brother? And Captain Carl. If you want to know more about the A's, go on YouTube. There's a team film from 1980, which will give you lots of information on the 1980 Billy Ball A's. And then there's a game, a division series, a championship series game against the Yankees that's on YouTube that you can watch that too. And it's all the same players. So you'll get a little, you'll become a little bit, and they give you lots of information on these players as well. That's just one reason to watch it. If you want to learn more about the players, it's a great way of going about to do so. All right, that's going to be a 22. Now, doubles are usually hits, but in this case, it's going to be an out because his batting average is low, and it's going to be a ground ball hit sharply to Kiko Garcia, and he throws over to first, and that retires the side. All right, let's go to the bottom of the first. It's going to be the O's. This is game 16. So after this, I actually fast forward to, I don't know which game, but 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in the hundreds. So after this game, which is game actually 64 in the schedule, we're using Baseball Reference. I fast forward to, I guess, another 32, probably I think in the 130s. I start playing 16 games in the 130s and 140s. So it's going to be Al Bunbury, center fielder, followed by Len Secada, the second baseman. Kenny Singleton in right field, the ex-Met. Why did they lose him? Eddie Murray, first baseman, batting cleanup. Batting fifth is Terry Crowley, the DH. Dan Graham, the catcher, another lefty. He was the platoon catcher. They used two catchers, Dempsey and Graham. Doug DeCinces is the third baseman, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Mark Corey, the left fielder, and Kiko Garcia, batting ninth. We're throwing some dice. It's 44 off the bat of Al Bunbury was a 318 hitter. That's going to be a line drive, base hit, left center field. Actually, right center field. And it's cut off by Murphy. Now, Bunbury's always a threat to steal. So he's got a nice lead over there. Rick Langford, better keep an eye on him. Len Secada. Here's a pitch, and there goes Bunbury. It's a ball, and the throw down from Mike Heath. And we're going to use that same 16 there. And we rolled already. Oh, actually, that was the last roll. Let's do a roll here. And that's going to be an 11. He should be safe, whether it's up or down 2 on Bunbury. Bunbury's a 16. So even if the catcher has a strong arm, it would be a 14. So it's still 11 falls within that. So that's going to be a stolen base for Al Bunbury. So just like that, a single and a stolen base puts a runner in scoring position. Len Secada, who's a not such a good bunter. You'd think he's a good bunter. And here's the pitch. That is a 23, and that is a strikeout. So I don't even have to look. It says it right down Secada's card. Here's Kenny Singleton, switch hitter, batting from the left side against Rick Langford. That's a 65. That's a home run P. We never checked to see where it was. And let's do that. We'll do a 12. And a 12 is going to be a B pitcher. And now we're going to roll to see if it's a home run. And it's a home run. That's a 2-run shot by Kenny Singleton. Just like that. So it's 2-0 O's. So the O's, the Orioles strike immediately. So Langford's going to be a B. Let me write that down. I never got started doing that. I usually don't worry about that till it comes up. It's maybe a bad habit. And let's do Mcgregor. Mcgregor is going to be a 13. That's going to be both are going to be B's. Scott Mcgregor. I believe he was he was acquired from the Yankees in the late 70s. I think. And boy, he really became some pitchers similar to what happened with the Mets and Mike Scott. The minute they got rid of Mike Scott, he became, this awesome pitcher. Unfortunately, those are some trades that you regret, right? All right, so Eddie Murray's up. It's 2-0 O's, just like that here in the first inning. That's a 21. That is going to be a ground out. Come back to the pitcher. And that's going to be out number 2. And Terry Crowley. Oh, that's a 66. 66 is off a righty. That's a deep drive to right center field. Back goes Armas to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. 3-0. Got a 66 there. Ouch. It's like Appa. Dan Graham, 25. And that off a righty is a ground ball and through the right side for a base hit. So they're hitting they're hitting one of the better pitchers in the American League. So far, we got 4 hits off of Langford here in the first inning. We haven't gotten through the first inning. All right, and that's a 66. What? And on a 9, that's a deep drive off the bat of the Senseis to left field. Back goes Henderson to the track to the wall, and that's out of here. 5-0, just like that. Holy smokes. Mark Corey, right-handed hitter. 5-0 O's. And that is a 1-2, which is a 18. That's an out. What kind of an out? It's a ground ball to the shortstop. And that retires the side. But the O's pick up 5 big runs on 1, 2, 3 home runs, I believe. Holy smokes, in the first inning off Langford. Doesn't say on his card how many home runs he gave up. But really, we only used his card one time. And it was that time we checked for the 65, 1 to 13. And we rolled a 1 anyway, so it made no difference. So that's the thing. It really, sometimes, regardless of the grade that you get on the cards, you can get beat up pretty bad. You can get hammered pretty bad, and you never really got to the pitcher grade. That's something that is, factual here. I'm up to about my game 50, and again, that's why I'm doing these projects, to get the data, the stats, so we have more stats. Actually, if you're talking about a midlife crisis, if you're talking about the pitching staff, he had the same exact pitching staff, I believe, in 80, 81, and 82. By 83, I believe they fell apart. And 82, they had a terrible season. So I guess there are a lot of injuries, maybe, I don't know. But he just let the guy go. I mean, he said, you started the game. You're going to finish the game. You're a young guy. Let's do this. And he didn't worry about the bullpen. I guess he was, I was whatever. Tony Armas, top of the second, 5-0 O's. All right, let me just recap what happened in the first inning. It was Al Bumbry. He singled, then stole second. Then Len Cicada struck out. Kenny Singleton drove one on a 65 result. On the beat column, we rolled a 1 on the D20. That was a home run. So right there, it was 2-0. Then it was Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray grounds out. That was out number 2. And then Terry Crowley, on a 66, drove one deep. And then Dan Graham hit a base hit single on a 25 roll against righties. He's a lefty hitter who really hits well against right-handers. So he was on at first with 2 outs. And then up came Doug DeCinces, and I rolled another 66. So this is a 66 party. Here goes. Let's go Tony Armas. That's a 41. That's a blank. And we're going to look at Mcgregor, and that's ball 4. So the A's have a base runner. Hallelujah. Let me take off my sweater. It's hot. Randy Elliott. Can't wait till he goes. He only had 39 at-bats, but he was in these lineups, all these 16 games. Nightmare. Guy's terrible. It's a 54. That's a 54 chart, so we're going to pull one of these cards. Base is empty. There's a runner on base. A wild pitcher pass ball. We only rolled a 6. So the pass ball rating for Scott McGregor is going to be a 7. So that 6 is going to fall within that. And let me just check the pass ball rating. It's usually a lot lower. Yeah, it's 1 to 4. So it's going to be a wild pitch, and that's going to move Armas over to second base. That's simple. So this game has a lot of things figured out. Let's roll it again. That's a 1-5, and that's a strikeout. Randy Elliott downswing. Chases a ball outside the strike zone. One away, and here's Jeff Newman. The first baseman, that's a 14. A 14 is an out. And it's going to be a fly ball to right. And Tony Armas is going to tag up on this. Going to make it to third base. 2 outs, and Mario Guerrero. That's a double 2, and that's going to be a 14. Oh, it's going to be a comebacker. Shag by McGregor. Throws to first, and in time. Had that gotten by McGregor, would have been an easy hit. Hit hard enough to get through the infield. But Mcgregor was heads up on that. Kiko Garcia, bottom of the second, 5-0 Baltimore. 3 home runs for Baltimore in that first inning against Langford. He'll probably go for a complete game here. I'm not pulling him. We'll see what happens. All right, so I pulled a card, but I'm going to roll instead. I'm trying to roll for 3 innings before pulling a card. It's a 54 chart. Bases empty, Wild. Fly ball to center field. Roll versus E rating. That's an 11. Our center fielder out there is Murphy. And Murphy is an error rating of 4, so he's going to run that down in center field. So that's a dry left center field. And Murphy on the run and tracks it down. Murphy can really haul some butt out there. And it's next batter. It's the top of the order. Al Bunbury, who led off the game with a single. That's another 66. And that's going to be pulled down the line into right field corner. Armas after it. Bunbury is going to slow down at second base, respecting Tony Armas' arm. But that is a 1-out double for Bunbury. He's 2 for 2 today. Here's Len Sakata. This game plays extremely fast. 42. It's going to be a blank, but we go to Langford, and that is going to be Len Sakata's a righty, so it's going to be a shortstop. Grounded shortstop. With the runner on second, he's going to make it to third. So both Anthony and RJL did an amazing job of playing this game tonight. I was very entertained. Had a great time watching them. It's a triple header tonight, guys. Everybody took like a 2-day break pretty much from playing anything, and now we're all hungry, right? I've been watching games all day. All right. So it's Kenny Singleton with 2 outs. Kenny Singleton homered a 2-run shot in the first inning. It's 5-0 Orioles, just like that. 3 home runs in that first inning for the Orioles. Rolling dice, that's a 22. This is going to be a base hit. 1-11 is a base hit, and we rolled a 6, so that is going to be a base hit. And with Bunbury at third base, here he comes. That's 6-0. 6-0 Orioles, just like that. So, wow. Here's Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray with a 65 and an 11. 65 with an 11 is going to be a deep drive off the bat of Murray. He's batting right, a lefty, and that is over the fence and a home run. And it's 8-0 now. Rick Langford has just given up 8 earned runs. Well, 8 earned runs, no errors, off 4 home runs in the first 2 innings. 5 in the first inning, and now he's dealing with the Shelled rule. You got to see the Shelled rule. The Shelled rule is horror. It's a horror show. Let's see what we do. Terry Crowley's up now. 8-0. It's a 21. 21 is actually good. 30s and 40s are hits. And yeah, 30s and 40s are hits. No, 30s are hit. Let me see that. Wait a second. Let me see the Shelled rule. Hold on a second. I don't usually use this, but it's so early in the game. Let's see the Shelled rule. Oh, Shelled. Okay. Pitcher allows 7 or C below. Shelled rule. Shelled. Okay. 31 to 36 and 56 to 64 are always singles. 45 are always walks. So basically, from 31 to 64, there are no outs. So I don't know how he can get an out. It's just, well, it looks like he just got one here. 21. 21 on his card is an out. So that's going to be an out. It's going to be a fly ball center field. And that's going to, I think, retire the side. Yep, it does. But Langford on another home run and an RBI single is down 8-0 in the first inning. I was talking about the extremely high ERA for the A's, and today is just a continuation of that. So Rob Piccolo and I pulled the card this time because rolling the dice is just giving me home runs, so I'm going to pull cards for a little while. This is the third inning, so that's going to be a 46. That's going to be a ballpark result. And he is that's a 10. He's a righty, and that is going to be a foul ball. Roll again. Okay, so let's roll this time. Rob Piccolo. It's a 31, and that is going to be through for a base hit. It's a little ground ball and into center field. Dave Mckay's up. That's a 66 off Mckay. That's another 66. That's going to be a double. Let's pull down the line into the right field corner. Kenny Singleton. Will Piccolo score? He is going to hold. Second and third now. No. Let's undo that. Let's do it one more time. Piccolo's at third and Mckay's at second. You got Ricky Henderson coming to bat. 8-0 A's. 4 home runs for the Orioles. 8-0 O's. 4 home runs for the Orioles, just like that. It's a fall classic baseball night, SDG says. That's right. Yeah, they pumped me up. They got me to wanting to play. I wanted to have a 1-0 game, and I'm the A's, my team, the A's that I'm managing and tracking, is down 8-0, which is horrible. But we got Ricky Henderson coming up. Let's see if we can come back in this game. Scott Mcgregor on the mound. I'd say 16. And the 16 is going to be, let's see what that is. That is going to be a nice play by the shortstop. With runners on second and third, one is going to score, the other one goes to third. So that's the first run. A nice cheer from the crowd for that. Ground ball to shortstop. Low throw, but a nice scoop by Eddie Murray at first. So that's 1 out, and it's Dwayne Murphy. Let me try to get this into view here. 62, and that is going to be a blank. We're going to go, hold on a second. Got Mckay. Okay. 62 is a blank. 62 is a 1-2 strikeout. And that is not going to be a strikeout, because it's a 3. So we're going to look at Murphy's a lefty. We're looking at a ground ball second base with a runner on third. This is going to be a 4-3 RBI. And here comes Mike Heath. Snake eyes. And that is going to be a fly ball left field. Mark Corey comes over. So the A's pick up a couple of runs. We go bottom of the third. Rick Langford is on his shell. He's on his shelled rule. So that's not going to work. I'll tell you right now. A 64. That's actually going to be, shelled rule says 64 always single. So that's a base hit single right there. So Graham is on with a single. Next batter is Doug DeCinces, and that is a 12. 12 is going to be some sort of an out. He's a righty. It's a fly ball to left. So there are some outs in there sprinkled in on the shelled. And now it's Mark Corey. Mark Corey's 0 for 1. Pitch from Langford. That's a double 5s, and that's going to be on a 20 base hit single. Let's see where Dan Graham goes. Graham is going to stop at second. So first and second, 1 out. Here's Keo Garcia. And that is a 12, and that's going to be, a ground ball double play. This will get us out of the inning. And it's not a ground ball double play, it's a line out. But the white die is a 2, it's a line out to second base. So unfortunately, he did not let the ball hit the ground, which would have really been an easy double play. Caught it in the air, says the umpire. Now I got to fly around here. And everybody's going to hold on that. It's the second out of the inning. So a line out and a nice play by Rob Piccolo at second base. And here's Al Bumbry. Al Bumbry's 2 for 2. He's got a single and a double. 8-2 Orioles in the bottom of the third. 4 home runs. 3 home runs for the O's in that first inning, I believe. Was there a 4th home run? Let's see. Yep, 4 home runs total. Everybody's gotten in on the home run parade here. Okay, here's the pitch to Al Bumbry. That is a 45, which in the shelled rule says 45 is always a walk. That's going to be based on ball. So I'm going to have to pull him. I don't know what else to do at this point. We're going to bring in this kid. I haven't used him yet. I think he had 18 If you print out this chart right here, the ratings chart, let me show you that. This comes with all the teams, all the seasons. It tells you the usage stats. And in relief, it was Jeff Jones. No, it was Lacey Jones, and then it was Dave Hamilton. So we're going to bring in Dave Hamilton. Let's bring in Dave Hamilton to see if we can get a bunch of innings out of him. All right. I've got a bunch of videos on Back to Basic Baseball. I've done some tutorials on that, and I did an unboxing of Back to Basic. Check it out. Bob, does Back to Basic print out the cards for you, or is it just the sheets, the ratings on the sheets? I heard from somebody, it may have been you, that they were printing out some cards. That would be easier for me than to write down all that data from the sheets. That's a drag. I wasn't enjoying that. I played a lot of games. I enjoyed it. It's a fun, easy game to play. Yeah, it's not a perfect game. It's not an in-depth game, but it's a quick, easy game that you can play, and it doesn't cost very much. It's like you get I made cards. Yeah, you can make your own cards. I know that. There's actually an app that does that, and they share that with you over at tabletopsports.com, whatever it is. You can find that on there. But I mean, do they sell? Can you buy like 1971 cards already printed out? Will they print them for you if you pay the extra money? I don't know. If you find that out, let me know. Let's see what's going on here in this game. Get sidetracked. Start. Len Cicada's up. 2 outs, and we're we brought in Dave Hamilton. Rick Langford's day is not over yet because is there a runner on base? I think there's a couple of runners on base, right? Hold on, let's find out. Let's bring in the new pitcher and we'll look. Dave Hamilton's coming in. Yeah, the bases are loaded, by the way. So his day is not complete. So far, he's given up 8 runs in 2 2/3 innings. So it's up to Dave Hamilton. See what Dave Hamilton can do here. And that's a 33. That's going to be Len Cicada with a 193 batting average. Grounds comebacker to Hamilton. Hamilton throws him out, and that retires the side. I thought that 33 was a base hit for sure. All right. So day is complete. He gave up 8 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Ouch! His ERA is going to take a wallop. Tony Armas in the top of the 4th inning. It's a 61. 61 is a blank. We go to Mcgregor, and that's a strikeout. So big swing. Swung out of his shoes. I don't know why. Down by 6 runs. We need base runners. But Armas down on strikes. Here's Randy Elliott with a 54. That's going to be a wild result. Go to Wilder chart. New card. Wilder chart. Foul pop behind the plate. Catcher fighting D20. Let's use the D20. We roll the 9 versus error rating. If he drops it, batter gets another chance on an E2. If he doesn't drop it, he catches it, and that's an out. So let's look at the defensive rating chart for the catcher back there today is Graham, and he is an error rating of 2. So he makes the catch, and that's 1 away. Oh, that's actually 2 away. All right, so it's Jeff Newman. That's a 44. That should be a line drive, base hit left center field, and it is. Next is Mario Guerrero. That's a 45. 45 is a blank, and we go to Mcgregor's 45, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Cicada over to first, and that retires the side. Go to bottom of the 4th. 8-2. Kenny Singleton leading off with a 25, and the 25 is going to be batting from the right this time against the lefty. Bounces 1 to second base. Picholo. 1 down. Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray's hit a home run today. 23. 1 to 16. That's a swing and a miss, and he strikes him out. A swing and a miss. And Terry Crowley bang from the left side, 42. It's a blank. We go to Hamilton, and that is going to be ball 4. Hamilton's got a lot of walks on his card. A whole lot of walks on his card. 42 is a walk. Look at this. You got to look at his card. I don't know if you can see that. Look at all the walks. 41 to 45, whether it's A, B, or C. So he must have had a lot of walks. Let's see what oh, yeah. Oh, it doesn't tell you how many walks on his cards. There's some things that the data doesn't tell you that I wish it did. It doesn't give you ERA. It gives you whip. He had a very high whip. So he was like a mop-up guy. And he must have had a ton of walks. So Dan Graham is up. Dan Graham is having a good day. He's 2 for 2, 2 singles. And he's going to be 3 for 3. I believe he's going to be 3 for 3, and he will be 3 for 3. It's a base hit. Little base knock, little floater drops in over Piccolo's glove into right center field, and runner's going to hold at second base. And Doug DeCinces with first and second and 2 out. DeCinces got a home run today. Everybody's hit a home run today. Everybody, 12. It's going to be an out. It's going to be a ground ball to short with first and second. It's going to be throwing a first to retire the side, top of the 5th. So the game plays fast. Even in games that this is an 8-2 game with 14 hits and 10 runs. Yeah, so far I've only been playing 30 minutes, which is pretty quick, and we're already in the top of the 5th. If I play with cards, it goes a little bit faster. Let's do that. It's a 22, and that is going to be a potential hit, and 11 is going to be a strikeout. That was a split die strat style. All right, it's a 16. That's going to be a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks. Dave Mckay goes down on strikes. And here comes Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson, and that is a 14. 14 is a fly ball left field. On the run is Corey. Will he get there? Yes. Great catch by Mark Corey. Never heard of the guy. But he is up right now after that nice catch against Dave Hamilton here in the bottom of the 5th. Cards play much quieter, much quicker. So 44, that is a line drive. Base hit center field. Play on the hop by Murphy. Corey is on at first. Keo Garcia is next. It's a 24. 24 is going to be a ground ball to second base. Runner advances. 1 out, runner on second. Al Bunbury with a 13, and that is a potential walk. And it is not a walk. 13 is going to be a fly ball center field. Mark Corey is going to hold. Oh, no, risk. We can do risk. It says risk on the card. I want to show you that so you know. See how it says risk? So somebody was asking me that before. So sometimes it'll say risk, and that means I'll show you how to play that. So it's going to be a fly out to center field. Murphy in center field is an A arm. You remember, I mean, I know pretty much that Ricky Henderson is a strong arm, and the other two guys are, I think Armas is a strong arm. No, Armas is an average arm, but he throws out a lot of guys. Dwayne Murphy is an average arm as well. So that is basically 1 to 3, he's out or he's safe, and it's 50-50. 1, 2, 3, he is risk roll. It's one of those. I don't worry about it because it's 50-50 on the A arm. So we'll do that. We'll try to. Well, Mark Corey, is he going to try to go to third? 8 to 2. He's in a scoring position. Al Bunbury flies out. They'll make the third out at third base. Yeah, let's have him do that. Let's have him do that. Here goes. 1 to 3 is out. It's a 5, so he's safe. So he tags up, makes it to third. All right. And Lenskata. That's the risk rule, by the way. It is. I didn't make it up. I know it sounds like I just make stuff up, but it's the rule. This is a 5. It's a 54 chart with a runner on third base. So we're going to look at that. It says not base is empty. Men on base. Wild pitcher, pass ball. So we're going to roll. Oh, it says, wait a sec. Gives you more information. If a 10 falls within the range, Dave Hamilton probably has a. Oh no, he has a 1 to 9 range. Otherwise, just re-roll. Okay, so we re-roll. Let's pull another card. It's going to be a 55. Lenskata. That's going to be a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders. Going to roll to the wall. Lincecata around second. Here's a relay from Guerrero. The tag by Mckay. He is safe with a triple. 2-out triple, 9-2. Lincecata. Just like that. Kenny Singleton. We're still in the bottom of the fifth. Can I get out of the bottom of the fifth? That's a 13. 1-6. It's a base on balls. And it is. It's a walk. Let's take a look at Hamilton. He can go 11 batters. How many has he gone so far? He has gone. Hamilton has gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11. So the next hit or walk, I have to pull him. I got a couple guys warming up in the bullpen. Eddie Murray's up. The score is 9-2. I can't get out of this inning. The bottom of the fifth. It's a 24. 24 is a potential hit by pitch on a 1 or a 2 roll. And it's an 11, so it's going to be an out. We're going to finally get out of this inning. It's grounded to short, and Guerrero is going to take a step on the bag to retire to the side. This is the only game where I ever saw a 6U where you actually just get the ball and just step on the bag. I haven't seen that in any other game. Anyway, but it may be out there. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist just because I haven't seen it. All right, Mike Heath. No, not going to be Mike Heath. Why do I have Mike Heath up? I'm way off on these guys. Why is that? Oh, I see what it was. Okay, I got it. Top of the sixth, 9-2 blowout. 13 hits for the O's against basically two pitchers, Mark Langford and Dave Hamilton. So I'm going to bring in a guy named Ernie Camacho. He's going to Ernie Macho Camacho. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bring him in. I'm going to bring in this other guy. I'm going to bring in Jeff Jones a little bit, settle things down, because this is. So I'm getting ready with Jeff Jones to come in. Now I spend a lot of time and I don't look at because I get into the game, So I play a lot of late night games because it lets me relax. I just play a lot. I get into the games and I just forget everything. What is on the back of the back of it's this right here. You see? You got the numbers, you got the out, you got the run with risk choices. When I may say risk, so sometimes it does give you that information. It reminds you of where that is, how that works. And then this is your 54 chart, all your 54 chart. But you'll see that it's tricky because bases empty wild and bases empty wilder, it says new card. So you always have to. So when it has this, he's figured it out. He's figured it out to where. You see, you pull the next card, and it says new card. Let's say it ends up on Wilder. Well, this card will have a Wilder. Like the next card, for some reason, the way it works will always have what you need. I don't know. He just figured it out. I'm not going to think too much about that. But there's a blowout going on here. Dwayne Murphy's up. So far, we've had 16 hits and 11 runs. And I've been doing mostly dice, but I got sick of it. This is a 65 on Dwayne Murphy. That's a 65. That's a home run, pitcher home run. Scott McGregor is 1-6, and we rolled a 7. So that's a deep fly ball, center field, and Bunbury on the track and hauls it in. So just missed a home run there. Just got under it a little bit. All right, here's Mike Heath. That's a 61, and that is going to be a strikeout. 2 out. So the A's go down quickly, but the Orioles, I can't get them out. Well, it's it's a community, so we all kind of feed off each other, That's what happens to me a lot, but I feed off other people. I see people doing stuff, but now I know the games. I enjoy playing the games that are just like really just obnoxious games. They're just clumsy games. They're just not modern, elegantly designed games. It's just games are built in, when we were fighting the Korean War and stuff like that. It's just those games are cool games, for nostalgia purposes, but they're not the modern games that we got going today. That's the fact. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I'm sorry. So Tony Armas, that's a 34, and that's going to be a blank. We're going to go to Mcgregor's 34, and that's a ground ball in through the left side for a base hit. So Armas on with a single with 2 outs. Ricky Henderson. No, that can't be Ricky Henderson. It's Randy Elliott. Randy Elliott with a 22, and he's a terrible hitter. He batted 128, had 39 at bats, 128. And this is going to be a fly ball center field, and that's going to retire to the side. So it's easy to get the A's out. It's just hard to get the Orioles out. Terry Crowley. Jeff Jones is the new pitcher. Hooray. We got somebody who can actually pitch. Jeff Jones was pretty good. 1 in 3, 5 saves with a 1.3 whip. Yeah, 54 chart is right here, guys. You still talking about it? Or maybe that's before. I don't know. 54 chart. Like if it came up right now, it says bases empty, wild. Strike 3, the catcher range is a G. You got to check the catcher, and it's in here, right? The catcher right now is Heath. So let me get Oakland. So Heath. It's first base. Sorry. All right, Heath's range is a B. So here it goes. If strike 3, if catcher range is a G, he's not a G, he's a B, like in Batman. As he frames the pitch, ball 4, if the catcher rating is a B. Okay, so then it would be a ball 4 because he's not a good framer. So it's ball 4. He doesn't get the call from the umpire. But if he's an N, some catchers are N's, and he's home, he's an N catcher at home, strike 3. But if he's an N catcher away, ball 4. Come on, that's pretty deep. All right, that's pretty deep. I mean, what other game? But it comes up just enough to it doesn't mess with the flow of the game. It comes up like perfect. It's not coming up all the time, and just it comes up just when you need it. It seems like when the game is moving really fast, and you want a little bit of drama, a little bit something an intangible to go your way. Boom, that comes up. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Terry Crowley. 25, and that's an out. It's a fly to center, and Dwayne Murphy covers a lot of ground out there. If you watch that YouTube 1981 video, that's all they talk about is how much ground the outfield is covered. They repeat that so many times. It's Joe Garagiola and the other guy. Oh man, I think it was NBC. Dan Graham. Dan Graham is 3 for 3 today. He's got 3 singles. Let's get him out. Let's see if Jeff Jones can get him out. That's going to be a 14, and 14 will get him out. Hallelujah. It's a fly to right. This time it's Armas near the line. Doug DeCinces. We're in the bottom of the 6th, a 9-2 blowout. 3-1. 3-1 is usually a hit. We never rolled for Jones. Let's use that 5. 5 is going to be an A. And an A is going to be an out on Jeff Jones's card. Nice line out to the pitcher. Oh, great snag by the pitcher on a line drive. And that retires the side. Jeff Newman comes up. Let's use the cards a little bit now. We are in inning number 7. 55. That should be a line drive base hit. Could be a double or a triple. We have to roll. And it's going to be a 6 is going to be a double. Splits the outfielders. Corey plays it off the wall. And Newman to second base with a leadoff double. Just like that. Newman got himself a little base knock. A 2-bagger. And here's Mario Guerrero with a 56. That's usually a strikeout. And it is a strikeout. We're going to check. It's at 32 batters faced for Mcgregor. We're going to check what he's at. Because I'm already getting a sense. I usually get the feel for it. He is at 25. Okay, so you can go 7 more batters. And then, of course, I have to wait till he gives up a hit or a walk. If he doesn't give a hit or a walk, he can go the rest of the game. Piccolo. Bob Piccolo. Rob. It should be Rob Piccolo. I wrote Bob. All right. Let's roll. Runner on second. 1 out. It's a 34. That's a blank, and it's going to be a base hit. Will Newman score from second base. F scores. S, which is slow and average, hold. I can guarantee that Jeff Newman is not an F, so he's going to hold at third base. And plus, we're down by 7 runs, so come on, he's not running because he'll be sitting on the bench for the next week if he runs on that. Billy Ball and no Billy Ball. All right, Dave Mckay now. He's a switch hitter. He was in that 1981 Championship Series game on YouTube. Check that out. You'll learn all about this team. And they give you a lot of anecdotes. That's the thing that I noticed. Give you a lot of anecdotes. I learned a ton about this team. So there's one out, first and third. Scott Mcgregor still in there. He's still got about a few more batters to go. Giving up 2 runs, 6 hits so far. He's hanging in there. And it's going to be a 7. It's a 56. 56 is a blank, and 56 is a strikeout. So he gets him on with a curveball. And Norris was throwing screwballs in that 81 game. They said, oh, he likes the screwball. He likes the screwball. He had this really slow, this floating, whatever it was. I don't know. It was a slow ball, they called it. And every time Bob Watson saw that, he lined it to left field. He drove it once to the warning track in Yankee Stadium. And the other 2 times he got base hits. He just jumped all over that. That was zoom, a rocket off the bat. That was not fooling Bob Watson. You got to see it. It's on YouTube. Just put in Billy Ball A's 1981 and it'll come up. So Ricky Henderson with 2 outs and runners on first and third. That's a 25, and that is going to be, he's a righty, so I got to keep track of that. That's pulls one down the line. And the Cincy's got it. He's going to go the short way to Sakata, and that retires the side. 5-4. Doing this on iScore. Sometimes I like to write, sometimes I don't. Mark Corey. Mark Corey's up. Today he's 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles and a ground out. Here's a pitch from Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones can go how many? He can go only 8 batters. Man, I need him. What do we roll here? We got a 6 and a 65. That's going to be off the pitcher, a 65. Yikes. And Jeff Jones, we said he was an A. We didn't even write that down. I'll write that down so I don't forget. Jeff Jones is an A, and he's gonna be, that's a 0 home run. It's no home run. And now I do have a tendency sometimes when I'm speeding through it to forget to check the KD. Sometimes I'll go out of my way and I will check the KD. Other times I'll just kind of forget the KD. So that's one of and I got to pay more attention to that. But this is going to be a fly ball, deep center field. On the run is Murphy, and on the track, and right before the wall makes that catch. 1 out, Kiko Garcia. It's a 42. That's a blank. And Jones on a 42 is a base on balls. Garcia's on with a walk. 1 out. Bottom of the 7. 9-2. Al Bunbury with a 64. That's a blank. 64. That's a strikeout. 2 out. Len Sakata. Len Sakata, right-hander. 62. That should be a strikeout, and it is. So after a while, you do learn the cards a little bit. It moves a little bit faster. 8th inning, top of the 8th. Let's use the cards this time. It's going to be a 33. That's going to be smacked for a base hit. Right center field. Kenny Singleton. In the 8th, 33. And will that come with a plus? It does not come with a plus. That means he tries to steal. But I wouldn't even steal with him down 7 runs. A lot of times the plus comes up, but if the game situation doesn't call for it, I'm not going to follow that. That's just a random thing. I mean, it doesn't make sense. He would never do that. And if he did do that, my next guy would get plunked in the head, and he'd have a concussion. So I'm not doing that to give my guy a concussion. Mike Heath, 42. It's a blank, so we're going to look at Mcgregor, and that's going to be an out. Oh, wait. Mcgregor, you know what? He may be out 27, 28, 29. No, he's still going to go. That's going to be an out, and it's going to be a fly ball center field. So the great thing is that my daughter got accepted to nursing school today, so we're really happy about that. That is outstanding. So a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Because I was really worried. I wanted her to get accepted, and because COVID really hit us hard, and and she applied, and they weren't doing the regular application thing, and but she's been accepted to become. So that takes a big weight off my shoulders, and I can enjoy games a little bit more. Tony Armas, and I may be able to retire a little bit sooner. This is a 54, so we got a runner on first here. So this is where we're going to use that with a runner on first, men on base, wild pitcher, pass ball. We already rolled as a 4, so it's going to be. But here it says 18. If 18 falls within the range, because there's a lot of pitchers 1 to 18. That's why they use that 18. So I'm not using the 4. I'm using the 18. And he is 1 to 18. So this is a wild pitch. So you see how simple that works? So this guy, Greg is a pretty smart guy. I'll be honest with you. He's got a lot of things figured out, and it makes the game flow. Like there's a lot of clunkiness in other games where guys, it feels that in some games, to be honest with you, it feels, thank you guys. Thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate that. Sometimes it feels that some designers just got to a point and said, let me just make it this way, whatever. Or let me just add this to it, whatever. For some reason, this game feels like a lot of it is kind of integrated, very well integrated. It plays very smoothly. Things that are complicated in other games are just like snap of the fingers in this game. All right, so now we got a wild pitch. We got Murphy to second base. We got Tony Armas, the batter. He's the 4th batter, so that was 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So you can go, let's see what happens. So McGregor's still in here. That is going to be a 55 off Armas. Now that's a 1 to 5 home run. That's a deep drive off. Oh, you had the 1. And that's going to be 1 hop off the wall in left center field. That's going to score Murphy. And that's going to be a double for Armas. Armas got splits. I want you to see this. This is very cool. Because that's one of the cool things that really makes Stratomatic pretty cool. That's one thing I think everybody agrees that it's cool to have that extra drama. Okay, I'm going to roll that extra die. See, is it going to be a double? Is it going to be a single? Is it going to be an out? Is it going to be a home run? This one has triple. He took it one step further, right? He got the martini shaken, not stirred. He did a 1 to 5 homer, a 6 to 16 double, and then a triple on Tony Armas. By the way, Tony Armas had 8 triples and 35 home runs, 109 RBIs. Big season for Tony Armas. And if you guys don't know, I'll give you a little anecdote. And I'm sure a bunch of you know because we're all baseball fanatics, right? But it was a trade. They gave, it was, who did they give? They gave Phil Garner went to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Phil Garner for Tony Armas, Rick Langford, Mitchell Page, I think it was Dave Justy, and somebody else I can't remember off the top of my head, but just fathom that. They almost have the whole starting team, or at least 1/3 of the starting team, based on that one trade for one guy, Phil Garner. Phil Garner was a good player, but it's not worth Rick Langford, who had 28 complete games and 19 victories. Come on. Randy Elliott is up with Armas at second base, and that's going to be it for McGregor. I just remembered that, right? That's going to be it for McGregor. And let me look in here to figure out who's going to come in because I don't care enough to really go into the box score right now in this game like this. So the guys who came in the most, 64 for Stoddard, but he's their closer because he had 26 saves. Martinez had 10 saves. The third guy who pitched a lot was Ford. Some guy named Ford. So I have, since this is PDF, I get every player. So, but this company is good. They do up to from, I think, 20 at-bats and 10 innings pitched, I believe. So you get every player, 20 at-bats, 10 innings pitched. That's why the newer seasons cost like $80 because, you're having to card 1,500, 1,400, 1,300 players. So I'm looking for the bold are the hitters. The bold are the hitters. So I'm looking in the hitters, mistakenly looking in the hitters. Boddicker, Kerrigan, Dennis Martinez, Stoddard. Stewart is another guy. He's a starter, though. Stone, Palmer, Paul Hartzell, Mike Flanagan, Mike Boddicker, Joe Kerrigan. Now, I don't seem to have him. And there's an explanation. Oh, wait, there's more guys here. Dave Ford, there he is. I do have him. In comes Dave Ford, not Disco Dan Ford, not to be confused with Disco Dan Ford. This guy's name is Dave Ford. And I don't even have him in there. I have to write in his name. It's done very quickly. D Ford with iScore, and this does everything for me. I can't be bothered to keep track of stats. I forget it. I'm into the stories, not the stats. Stats are boring to me. The stories are the exciting part of this game to me. So, okay, Dave Ford is replacing Mcgregor. He's out here with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. It's 9-3. Armas is at second. Randy Elliott is up. Randy Elliott is terrible. He's a nightmare. Actually, you know what? We're going to pinch hit for Randy Elliott because he sucks. And he was only in there because it was a lefty. So we can bring in any one of these. We can bring in Jim Essien, and we'll leave him in there. All right, here's the pitch from Dan Ford. Oh, Dave Ford. But I never rolled to see what he is. Wait, he is going to be a 9, which should be a B. So Ford will be a B. Greg is out. Langford's out. All right, and that is a 25. And that is, against a lefty would be a single. So he's good against lefties. I don't know why I brought in a righty, but anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, that's going to be, I didn't pay attention to that, down by so many runs. But it's going to be a 25, which is an out, and it's going to be a ground ball with a runner at second. He's going to move to third. So Essien is really good against lefties, I just learned. So I use him against lefties if you play this team. Jeff Newman, another righty. He's the first baseman. I can bring in Dave Revering, another pinch hitter. Dave Revering bats from the left side. I'll do it right this time. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Actually, I could bring in Wayne Gross as well. Newman is at first base. Does Gross play first base? Yes, he does. I'll bring in Wayne Gross. Actually, I don't even know if Wayne Gross is. He's around because he played. I think he played in my game yesterday. So when I don't see a guy for 4 or 5 games, it's because they're probably on the injured list, and I don't play them. I wait until I see them again in the box score, then I start playing them again. So Wayne Gross is going to pinch hit. 2 outs. Here's a pitch from Ford. Oh, that's a 66. That's going to be a drive. Will this carry? And no, off the top of the wall. Armas comes around to score, and Wayne Gross has a pinch hit double. RBI double for Wayne Gross, 9-4. They're scratching and clawing their way back. Mario Guerrero. They also traded Chuck Tanner. Wasn't he a manager for Manny Sanguillen? They traded a manager. Philly was an off-the-wall character, was he not? He was a wackadoodle, man. Just did not care about anything. He's really nuts. Traded Chuck Tanner for Manny Sanguillen. But you got to check out that trade. Check out that trade at like the Phil Garner trade where they got all these great players, all these starters. Mitchell Page, it's like 280, 285 with them. They get Tony Armas. Tony Armas, huge, man. Had a bunch of great seasons. Then later with Boston. Wow. All for one guy. And of course, Rick Langford. Got a couple of really good seasons. Mario Guerrero. Here's a pitch from Dave Ford. All right, that's a 12, and it's going to be a fly ball right field. Can of corn for Kenny Singleton, my ex-Met. Why did they lose Kenny Singleton? That's the question. They lost Amos Otis. They lost Kenny Singleton. Why? What's wrong with the Mets? Nolan Ryan? Come on. Tom Terrific? Jerry Kuzman? You got to keep those guys together, man. They should have played together for 20 years. But they couldn't do it with free agency. Once the reserve clause was done, was kaput, that was it. You couldn't. Players wanted to make money like the owners were making money. Owners were making money. Why couldn't the players? Why did the players have to beg for money? And they did. They had to play. They did. They played the whole season and they had to beg for money. All right, Jeff Jones. Let's pull a card. 8th. It's a 61. It's a blank. Strikeout. 1 away. Oh, that's good. Oh, please let these 2 innings go fast. Bottom of the 8th, 43. 43 is a blank. 43 is a walk. Fortunately, there's a base runner. Another base runner, Eddie Murray. Here is Crowley, 855. It's going to be a base. Oh, that's a home run of 1. Double on a 2 to 13. That's a 17. That's a base hit single. Let's see if Murray goes to third. If he's fast, he advances to third. I don't think Murray's fast, to be honest with you. He's average. Yes, he's going to stop at second. So you got the arm plays a factor, not all the time. I want to be calculating my arm every single hit of the game. Sometimes it comes into play, sometimes it doesn't, the way it should, reality. Other times it's the base runner speed that comes into reality. Sometimes it's just a hit, it's just placed in the right place. So you have all those 3 different things happening, right? And it's all fluid. It's all happening real, just easy play through on this. Dan Graham, lefty, again in the 8th. I need to get, it's only 1 out, 44, holy smokes. This is a base hit single. Will run scored from second base. He does score. And if he's fast at first base, Terry Crowley, I don't think he's fast. I think he's old. Yeah, he's 33, so he's not fast. So he's going to stop at second. That's another run. It's 10 now. RBI single for Dan Graham. That's his, I think, 3rd hit of the game. Holy smokes. Hey, he did bat 278 in 266 at bats. So don't think that, he can't hold his own out there. Doug the Sensei's 1 out. This is like, I get the feeling I'm not going to get out of these. Oh, wait a second. Jeff Jones is done. I forgot all about that. Jeff Jones should be done by now. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he's done. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he won 1 extra. All right. No harm, no foul. I'm going to bring in Bob Lacey, lefty, who hopefully can get me out of this game already. He only has to get 2 outs, 2 more outs. He's our closer. Doug the Sensei's. Here's a pitch. 8. It's a 64. 64 is a blank. What is Lacey? I didn't check. Lacey's going to be a B. Remember that. He's a B. And what did I say? 64. That's an out with runners on first and second. It's a fly ball center field. Runner on second. Advances if it's a W arm. He's not a W arm in center field, so there's no advance. Ooh. Mark Horry. 2 outs. 16. 16 is a strikeout. Hooray. Bob Lacey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to put you, just for doing that for me, I'm going to put you in a little thing here. Bob Lacey gets his own little protector sleeve for coming in and doing that for me. It doesn't even fit. Got to cut him down a little bit to make it fit. All right. Rob Piccolo, 8th place batter, top of the 9th. Ball game is 10-4. Orioles. It was a ugly beginning for Rick Lankford, who gave up 4 home runs in the first 2 innings. Ouch. It was like 66, 66, 66. I rolled 4 66s in 2 innings. And the Orioles, they won. Look at the Orioles. The Orioles were a good team. They won 98 games. This is not a scrub team. They won 98 games. Oh, no, actually, I'm sorry. They won 100 games, 162. Earl Weaver. So this is a good team that we're facing. And they just pounded Langford, just mercilessly. Piccolo, top of the 9th. Let's get this over with. 43 out. Ford can go 14, so he's still in there. It's grounded 3rd. Pulls it down. Nice play by the Sensei's. Up with it. Fires to first. High throw, but nice stretch by Murray at first. Murray can handle the glove out over there at first base. So now it's a 63. 63 is a blank. Ford, I said, was what? What did we say Ford was? Here's a B. And that's an out. It's going to be a line out to the shortstop. 63 is line out to the first baseman. Hit on the screws, but right at Murray. So the Oakland A's are down to their last out, 10-4. This is game 16. I'm going to finish with a 7-9 record in my 16 game project. Now I got to go to the next 16 games, which is later on in the season, in the second half of the season somewhere. All right, Ricky Henderson. Here goes. We're going to roll the last out. That is going to be a 63. That's a blank. Goes to there. That's an out. Ball game popped up. a 3 is going to be first baseman under it. It's both Graham and Murray who's going to get it, and it's Murray, and the ball game is over, my friends. Hallelujah. This one was a dud from the onset. When Langford gave up basically the first 2-run home run with 1 out in the first inning, I was like, oh no, I hope this doesn't become one of those games. So if you guys have any questions, any comments about this is the time to do it. I can, tell you what I found. I'm around 50. I played 16 games plus Seaver with 30, 40 games. So I'm around 50-ish games so far. And, I'm coming to some conclusions slowly, but, I have to collect data now. That's why I'm part of this project. If any of you guys want to become part of the project, that don't have the 100 things to do, and just reach out to me. You can reach out to me here. Just share your email, or just Universal Baseball Association at Gmail. You can email me there. I got like 70 different emails, but I check them all for different things. So you can email me there if you say, hey, I want to become a manager and get 16 games. That way we can finish faster. We can go to the next 16 game. We can go to the next season replay, because we want to play a bunch of different seasons, and then we want to find trends and patterns in the results. And then we'll know really good, because, we're looking for a game that can really hold its own and, and have the credibility that it deserves. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do with Fall Classic Baseball. I want to get the results. I want to look at the results. I want to see, what the trends are, what the pattern, identify some patterns, and then basically I point out some trends. Yeah, well, I'm sorry about the lighter wallets, guys, but hey, you know what? We only live once, and life is short, and sometimes we have to throw caution to the wind, and that's important. And we have to splurge right now in this COVID time. It's better to be home and be rolling dice than doing a lot of other things and maybe putting ourselves in harm's way. And so I think it's a great time for tabletop baseball, for all the developers and for the designers. And this is time for companies to really, produce and fill up their shelves, stock their shelves, because the guys are locked in their house. Guys are playing with their cousins, with their uncles, with their sons, with their daughters, with their wives, and that's what has going on right now. That's why you see, so much going on, so many games and everything. And because of COVID. COVID's locked people in. It's going to be a year. We're going on 9 months now, right? Actually, it happened in the middle of March. So in 2 more months, we're going to be heading to a 1-year anniversary of basically being locked in, not being able to just go out freely, and just have a drink somewhere and just relax. And now it's really complicated. And so what has happened? So different parts of the economy have really flourished, and some companies have taken advantage of that, and some companies have dropped the ball big time. I'm going to be honest with you. Some companies have decided, you know what, we're not going to produce anything. We're just going to sit back on our laurels, and we have a reputation of being around a long time. We have some fans that are very committed to us, and we're just going to not produce anything. We're going to have bare shelves. We're going to be like communist Russia, and we're not going to produce anything. And that's it. All they have is cornflakes. You got a couple of good things, and I know guys like the older seasons. Not really my thing, but I respect that. But that's all they have. If you're a guy that wants to play anything from the late 60s to the late 2000s, or to the early 2000s, to the mid 2000s, they don't have anything stocked. It's pretty nuts, and this is a pretty big company, and that's shameful. Come on. And if you guys, and I'm telling you right now, and that I make these pronouncements, and I make these predictions, they're losing followers, in droves. Okay, they're losing followers. They can be the greatest game in the history of mankind, but they are losing followers in droves. Not because they're not a good game or whatever, not because they don't have nostalgia, not because they didn't capture guys, in their adolescence. The guys will still follow them because of that, but guys are turning to other games because they're saying, hey, I want to play 1975. I want to play 1976, and I can't. I can't play 1983. I can't play 1986 with you. So unless it's on computer version. So what are they doing? They're going to say, oh, oh, I heard this guy talking about this game. Oh, let me check that out. Let me see if I like it. Oh, payoff pitch, that sounds good. Oh, inside pitch, that sounds good. Oh, full class baseball. And what guys are just going in different directions because the old standbys, Appa's Appa, they have every season. Mag does not have every season. They don't have barely, their shields are bare. And those were the go-tos for a long time. And the Status Pro, of course, Status Pro. They're always there. That's a good system. It's a quality system, and I play that system. I like every year I do the World Series in that system because they're like one of the first companies to come out with the World Series team. So I play every day just out of reverence to that system. A lot of guys played that in college because they actually graduated from the simpler of Appa and Stramac, and they got into Status Pro when they were in college because it was a little bit more, a little bit more in depth. It had, I don't know, it came in a nicer box. It looked like a book, right? It looked like you were reading a big book, so you can carry it around. It's, oh, look, he's got a book. No, it's my game. So anyway, that's it. That's it for my analysis of, I think, of what's going on here with COVID and our ball games and rolling and just staying out of trouble. And it's hey, these are only, I think we don't have a lot of expenses, hopefully, and we can save. Our kids mostly are out of the house or they're old enough to have jobs. And we still got to support them and help them, but it's not the same. So we got a little extra money on the side that we can throw out and spend on something, that we want, something frivolous. And I just bought a new printer so I can print these out the right way. I had to go to Office Depot. It was costing me 72 cents a team. 72 cents a team. That's what it was costing me to print them out the right way, the right size. Because my printer, the older printer that I had, a beautiful printer, it's 4 years old, but it wasn't doing the job. It wasn't printing them the way I needed them to be printed. So I bought a new printer. Really like $100. Brand new printer, $100, the latest technology, and it's going to print them that way, and I won't have a problem. I'm not a big fan of PDF, but I have PDF because if one day I was drinking beer and I had my fan and I knocked over the beer, got all over the cards, guess what? They were PDF. What did I do? I threw them out and I printed up new ones. If I soil them, if they fall on the floor, if my dog uses them up, guess what I do? I print them up. So a lot of times if you buy but you don't have to worry because if you buy the carded set, guess what you get? You get the PDF for free because it comes with all the players. The carded set comes with like 95% of the players. I think it's at bats up to 20 and innings pitched up to 10. So I'm buying sets tonight. I want to play 2019. I've been getting a lot of questions on 2019, and a couple of my friends have been talking about it. So I want to look at DeGrom. I want to play some Mets, some modern games. Because that's the home runs are going to be nuts. Think about that in the modern games, right? Think about that. How many 66s you're going to have? How many 65 home runs you're going to have off the pitcher cards, and then 26 home runs. You get home runs on 25 too. I think Armas has a home run on 25. Let me see that. I know somebody I saw the other day had a home run on 25. Oh, Wayne Gross against a right-hander on number 25 has a home run. He doesn't have one in 66. So that's interesting. I never noticed that. So if a guy doesn't hit a lot of home runs versus lefties, they can pull, and he's a -5, by the way, on 65. That means it's going to be -5 to the pitcher, to whatever pitcher. So they took some away there. He hit 14 home runs in 366 at bats. So they pulled home runs there. They pulled the 66 automatic home run, and they pushed it to the versus righties. So if you'll look at his stats, let's look at his stats. Let's do a little bit of research. Let's look at his stats real quick. Let's see, Wayne Gross, MLB. I bet you he hit most of his homers versus righties. He played mostly versus righties, so that makes sense, right? Let's look at his splits. Miley's pitching splits, batting logs. Let's see if I got Wayne Gross here, if I got the right guy. Wayne Gross, okay. Show player value batting. Postseason batting. Let's see, where's this splits? Okay, 1980 splits. Wayne Gross, in his career, had 121 home runs. He played with. Okay, so his splits. Let's see. Show platoon splits. He had 14 home runs against righties and 0 home runs against lefties. He had 60 at bats versus lefties, batted only .218, but he batted almost 300 against righties. So what Greg did with his card. So what Greg did with his card here, what did I do with his card? So Greg took his home run, which is basically 66, could be against any pitcher, righty or lefty. He did away with that. He put his home run on 25, right, against righties only. So he's only going to hit a home run against righties. Now, he could hit a home run, no park home runs. He's not allowed park home runs. He has a -5 on pitcher home runs. So that does allow him a potential of hitting against home runs against lefties. Now, that's the way in other words, he's pretty much an outlier. Wayne Gross is an outlier here. And this is important for us to understand. This is one of the things I'm realizing about this game. This game is not designed to calculate outliers. Now, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. This is what preliminarily I'm basically seeing. It's not really a game designed for outliers, to pick out guys that, really extremes. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you want a game that's going to pick out those extremes, you're going to need a ton of modifiers. What does that mean? You're going to need symbols next to each result. You're going to need raised numbers. You're going to need letter grades. You're going to need shaded grades. You're going to need, you're going to need so many things on these cards where you're going to get to the point where you make your game unplayable. And I've seen that happen. I'm not going to name any names, but it's gotten to the point where there's so many different results and letter grades and raised numbers and this and that and the other on the cards that the guys basically, and they tell me all the time, because guys talk to me all the time, and they tell me, oh, it's not playable for me, just because there's so many different things I got to know, and I got to check the charts, and it's so hard to memorize. I can't memorize. I played 5 games. How am I going to memorize every single chart on every single game? So that is the danger of worrying about those outliers, those really extreme cases where you're like, oh, well, he never hit a home run against lefty, but this guy's lefty. Look, Mcgregor's lefty, and I rolled a 65, and Mcgregor was on his C, so -5. It's a 1 to 5. He had a 25% chance of hitting a home run. Of course, it's less than that because it's all the numbers, right? So and I rolled, and it's oh my God, it's a 3. I rolled a 3, so it's a 1. So he hit a home run off a lefty. It could have happened, because this game is not designed to make sure that Gross hits 0 home runs against, but it is designed to make sure he hits a strong majority of home runs against righties, which, according to his data, which I just showed you, is what it's made to do. So when you're designing a game, you have to decide, do I want to add all these additional modifiers to my game just to cover that one guy that never hit a home run against a left-hander? And plus, oh, by the way, if you play Wayne Gross realistically, he only had 50 at-bats versus lefties. So the chances that he's going to hit a home run against lefties, if you play him realistically, are really cut down even further. So he may actually only hit a home run, and plus he doesn't play versus lefties. That's another thing. So what can I tell you? He's probably going to hit maybe 1 or 2 home runs against lefties if you play him like the whole 365 at-bats that he played that season. Because I don't think a game should be developed, or I haven't seen a game that really can unless it's a computer game, right? You can do anything with computers. But in terms of dice, if you want to cover every outlier, like an extreme guy, like let's say there's a guy with an ERA of 0. If Scott Mcgregor pitched 7 innings, and he pitched a shutout for those 7 innings because he was a rookie, and they brought him in September, and he started a game, and he pitched 7 innings of shutout baseball, and he's got a 0 ERA, and I pitched him, he could still give up a run. Okay, because there he runs off the batter card. A homer right here would be a home run, for example, off a batter card. Well, it wouldn't be that one actually, but another player, right? Jeff Newman. Jeff Newman would hit a home run off Mcgregor, and he didn't give up any home runs. Well, why? Because it's not meant to create, it's not meant to cater to those extreme outliers. And I don't know if you want to make a good, playable, fun game, I don't know if you can make a good, playable, fun, elegantly designed game that's easy to play and that you can get through within a reasonable amount of time without going stressing out. If you include every single outlier for every single, are you going to include? Okay, this is a question. Are you going to include an outlier for base on balls, for strikeouts, for hit by pitch? You can include outliers for runs scored and for hits and for doubles and for triple. Those things usually you can. But there's other things in the game that are nuances that I don't know. I don't know if you can always capture everything exactly. So these are just things to talk about, to think about, and to analyze. But this game is a lot of fun. I'm telling you, it plays very easily. This is a game that definitely. And the fast action cards are great. And as you can see, the dice were horrible for me tonight. I hate dice. It was all 66s. And they lost by what was it, 12-4, the final score? That was terrible. 10-4. Final score 10-4. 24 hits, 14 runs, 16 left on base. No errors today. No errors today. Let me. That was terrible. So anyway, yeah, you can just basically shuffle these at the end of the game. That's better. And this is CP Cards and Dice. I hope I gave you guys something to think about, something to see, something to look at. And definitely right now they have buy 2 PDF, get 1 free. There's nothing to lose. You can download the rules for free. You don't need to you can download the rules for free. I bought a set, but you can download for free. On other games, I would download for free just because I look at the rules. I watch the videos. I watch the guys play, and then once I see that, then I just kind of start playing. And then if there's something I don't understand or I care about, some things I don't understand, but I don't care about them too much. That's one of my bad habits. But then guys get mad at me and they contact me on YouTube and they say, "Hey man, you didn't do this, you didn't do that." I say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll start doing it." But anyway, I try to have a good time. So this is CP Cards and Dice. Keep on rolling, guys, and keep trying out these good games and supporting our. And I was thinking today that one of these days we're going to wake up and half our gamers are going to be gone, and half our designers and companies are going to be pretty much gone. The good thing about this is you can just store the data, right? Store the data and just keep it there. Or I think somebody's going to pick up like 2 or 3 different companies. There's going to be one company, one game company that's going to buy like 3 or 4 different games and just have them there, on their shelves. And when guys want to buy them, they can come and buy them. But we're not getting a lot of new gamers into the thing. We're getting a lot of guys that are locked in their house and they're saying, "Wow, I remember, man, I got a lot of free time. What do I do in my free time? What did I used to do when I was a kid? I used to have a lot of fun in my free time. Oh yeah, I used to roll that tabletop baseball game. Oh wait, let me try." If you go onto the Facebook groups, you'll see tons of guys coming on like APA groups and Stratomatic groups, and they're saying, "Hey, haven't rolled dice in 40 years, but I'm back." Because of COVID, guys are locked in their houses saying, "Man, I don't have anything to do. I can't watch any more TV. I can't read any more books. What can I do?" So there's a lot of guys every day, and they're like, they don't know there's any other games out there. They think it's like only APA and Stratomatic, which are fine games. Look, okay, APA Game Company. That's what got me. That was my first drug. That was my gateway drug right there. Okay, so do not let your kids get near this drug. Right, or your grandkids. Do not let your grandkids get near this drug, because you will be sorry later on. You'll be paying for rehab for the rest of your life. So anyway, what was I telling you? So yeah, they think those are the only 2 games. Those games are primitive games compared to games. You can play this with all these different features in the same amount of time that I can play an APA game with just like one result, one roll, one result, one roll, one result. I can play all these different, ranges and wild pitch factors and different things happening all over the place. So this is like going to an amazing Macy's Day fireworks. Watching the fireworks off the river in New York. That's the kind of fireworks show compared to like me going in my backyard, with a handful of firecrackers. Those other games are like very kind of primitive, but hey, they're nostalgic and we love them. But that doesn't mean we can't play the new games. So I still have my APA thing somewhere here. Anyway, it's a good game. All right, so CP Cards and Dice, and I hope this was entertaining. I hope I gave you lots of information. And I will see you guys later on, tomorrow, or soon. And thanks for everybody for coming. I hope I got to most of your questions. I'm sorry I get into my own world, and I'm not good at that. Bears Den was here. SDG Replays, always good to see him. Kenny Price was here. Bob Tabletop was here. Bleacher Bones Gaming, he's coming out with a game. We're going to support him on that game as well, for sure. And I will definitely play his game. I may struggle through it. We'll see what happens. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be like, oh, wait. RJL, amazing. Has the energy of, I've never seen anybody so much energy. As much energy as RJL has. He's got crazy energy. Bears Den was here. He's always great to see him. He supports everybody. And all the other guys that stop by all the time. Take care, guys. Stay safe.